Ladies and gentlemen, it's Thursday. Happy Thursday to each and every one of you all. Today we're going to talk about using commas. Well, we're defining a comma and its function. So I just really want to define a comma for you. I would define a comma and its function. I will define a comma and its function. Okay, that'll be our learning target. Define the comma and its function. So, I'm just going to list a few things about a comma. I'm going to tell you what it is and what it does. All right? Okay, so what's the purpose of a comma? What's a comma? Now let's define it. What's a comma? What do you think a comma is? Just sit to yourself as you watch this video. Just think out to yourself. What do you think a comma is? What's a comma? Okay, you probably came up with answers on it by yourself. A comma is punctuation that indicates a pause, shift, break, and or a list in a sentence. Okay, now here's one definition of a comma. It is punctuation that indicates. So indication, when something's indicated, it signals, okay? So if I were to annotate right here, I ask myself, what does indicate mean? Indicate is something that signals. It signifies something. So, a comma is punctuation that indicates or signals a pause, shift, break, or reveals. All right, it indicates a pause, shift, break, and or list in a sentence. Okay. Now, actually, where I have the commas here on the board, this indicates a list in a sentence. I'm listing different things about a comma. So that's one example for you already. Let me bring the board a little closer. The camera a little closer so I can see the tripod a little closer. Yep. What's a comma? A comma is punctuation that indicates a pause, shift, break, and or list in a sentence. All right. Now we can use a lot of definitions. This is just one. All right. Now, let's take a look at the function of a comma. Commas can be used in a series. Okay? Now, a series is typically a list that is related to the same subject. So if I were to say something like, March, April, May, and June are my favorite months of the year or of a year, then a series would be March, it's comma, A is a comma, I got and June. All of these belong to the subject of favorite months of the year, okay? So the series would be to use the comma to separate those nouns, adjectives that these are actually nouns, person, place, or things. All right, a month is a thing, all right, or an idea. They really will classify under ideas. These articles are how they relate to favorite months of the year. So you put a comma. So commas can be used in a series. Okay, let's try another one. Let's try another sentence with a series. All right, let's describe, I'm in the United States, so let's describe the United States of America's flag. The American flag is red, white, and blue. So this is a series because red, white, and blue refers to the American flag. So which of these words that's describing the flag should the comma belong? And here's a hint. When you have more than two descriptive words, whether it's a noun, whether it's a pronoun, anything that's listed in that series. When you have a series is a listing of things, a listing of items. It can be nouns, pronouns. It can be anything that's descriptive related to a subject. Anything that's helping expand on the subject. If you have more than two, let's say if you got three, then you want to put the comma after the second descriptive word, okay? A word that's describing things, all right? And then use that and. If you have more than three, then you want to use it. It may be good to use it. And a lot of this is opinionated. Depends on who you're writing for. But you want to use that comma and right before your last descriptive word. So where would our first comma go? The American flag is red, white, and blue. It's going to go out the red. All right, where would the second one go? Right before the and. All right, and then we don't need one here because we're adding on as an addition to the description of red and white. We're adding on blue. So this is a comma used in a series, okay? That's another way a comma functions. Now, I just want to give y'all, you know what? I'm not going to take too long. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about commas used before a preposition. I think this is very important. And prepositions deal with placements, okay? And the way that you know a preposition is you got to know prepositional words like but, for, in, out, all right? I need you to come here, but first, take out the trash. So I need you to come here. I will put a comma before, but take out the trash. This is my book for class. Go, usually we go in the building. Now, you don't always have to apply a comma when you have a prepositional phrase, which begins with, these are words that indicate prepositional phrase, but it's very important to apply a pause there. And a lot of times you can apply a pause before a prepositional phrase, but it's so much to talk about with grammar. I'm trying to keep this video under 10 minutes, to be honest. It's already like 10 something at night. I don't want to hold anybody long. I don't want to hold myself long. I really wasn't going to get up and do this video, but God was just like, get up and do it. You missed last night. You just got to push yourself. So that's what I did. I pushed myself. But we can talk about a few things tomorrow. We can talk about what commas used before a preposition. Okay, or a prepositional phrase, if I could say that. We can talk about commas used as interruptions in a sentence, because technically it interrupts a sentence. We can talk about all of that. So just tune back in tomorrow night or daytime. Whatever time I go live, I indicate on all my social networks ahead of time. Wish y'all a great night. I am Fred Lee, formerly known as Mr. W. Keep it there.